Hey guys, all right, so welcome to Searching in Fearless Recovery Tarot. Today I wanted to talk about getting back into your heart space. Sorry. Today I wanted to talk about getting back into your heart space and how important it is, and some tips and tricks that you can help yourself with in getting back in your heart space. Okay, so I talk about getting back into your heart space a lot in readings, and I feel like it's such a bland fairy tale statement. Like I just say, get back into your heart space. And I'm sure the client or most of the clients on the other end are like, how the fuck do I do that? Or, like, I don't know how to do that. It's kind of like, set your wings and fly. Okay, so I'm not the kind of intuitive. I like to give you practical things that are going to be able to help you get back into your heart space, especially I know for me, I'm just going to speak from experience here in my own recovery. I know that when I first started getting into the rooms and things like that, I really thought that I was a sociopath or something because I had hidden my emotions for so long. It was really difficult for me to cry around the time when I was trying to get back into my emotions, which sounds kind of odd, but when you go through enough scenarios where you don't really have an emotional reaction, you start to worry, especially if it's somebody that you love and you really appreciate and you want to be there for them in that time. I feel like a lot of times in addiction, we can close off our heart space because it's too much for us. And I know some people might not want to hear this, but if you are in the Recovery Collective, you're probably sensitive. You're probably sensitive. Don't shoot the messenger, okay? But yeah, you're probably sensitive, and it's okay if you're sensitive. It's just there is maybe you were raised in an environment where tender, loving care wasn't really on the top docket, or maybe you were raised in an environment where you weren't supposed to express your emotions. You were supposed to be seen and not heard, or maybe you were so far into your addiction that you just learned to numb, and that was the way that it was. But honestly, I feel like a lot of things that I wasn't thinking about at the time when I chose to numb my emotions was I was thinking about, I just don't want to feel this pain anymore. I don't want to feel this hurt anymore. I don't want to feel used and taken advantage of. And it's hard because emotions, to me especially, are so visceral and real and difficult to understand. And there was a lot of abandonment issues underneath all of that I needed to recognize. Ooh, I'm getting a really loud ringing in my ear. There was a lot of abandonment issues that I needed to recognize when I was in those relationships, and I was unwilling to speak my truth or speak my emotions or not say anything, even though they were underneath the surface. And I feel like for a lot of people around me, it was kind of palpable. So sorry guys if you're watching this when I was getting through that point in my life. But really, honestly, don't judge yourself for what you're going through. You've numbed your emotions for a very long time, and it's okay that you're having to find your footing within them again. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, there's nothing wrong with you. It just takes time. It takes empathy and understanding, and sometimes we're not always in the mode for that. Sometimes we want to be in action and get things done right now. But when it comes to matters of the heart, that's not possible. And that's why we're supposed to access a different part of ourselves, a different part of ourselves. So don't think it, a lot of you, like, if you don't have sociopathic tendencies, or you don't have a past of being sociopathic, please don't think you're sociopathic. You're probably just having trouble connecting to your heart space. Okay? And sometimes that can be really scary. Sometimes we've overcome a lot of traumas. We've been taken advantage of. We've been used. We've been battered and bruised. Some of us have had parents that weren't around or didn't want to be around. Or maybe we had parents that financially took care of us, but they were never emotionally supportive or emotionally there. So don't blame yourself. You haven't really had a great example of how to open up your heart space, okay? But I can tell you some of the good things that have happened to me since I've chosen to open my heart space. And that's love. Because when you choose vulnerability, when you choose to lock out vulnerability or choose to lock out your emotions, yes, you are locking out sadness, pressure, abandonment, isolation, all of those things. Yes, you are locking those things out, but you're also locking out laughter, happiness, joy, feelings, love, you know, and that's not something to be ashamed of. It's not something, your heart is not something to be ashamed of. It's there for a reason. I always like to think of it as like the key to your treasure map. You know, your heart is the key to your life's blueprint or your treasure map, you know, and getting back into it, it's like I'm able to be fully aware of when I'm with my children now. I go to the park and I'm happy and I'm laughing with them and I'm playing on spaceships, and you know, those are things that I wouldn't allow myself to do when I wasn't connected to my heart. You know, when I wasn't connected to my heart, it was difficult for me to even leave the house with my kids because I was so scared of the world out there, you know. But it's important to get back into your heart space, because once you do, you generally tend to see the little subtleties and nuances that you truly love about people and how amazing people can truly be. And giving people the opportunity to be there for you is really scary. Really scary, I know. But it's so worth it. It's so worth it. Because at the end of the day, we're here for lessons. We're here to help each other. We're here to love each other through whatever's going on, forgive each other, you know? But how can any of that happen if we stay in place? How can any of that happen if we're just complacent and we don't speak our soul, we don't speak our truth, we don't speak our heart, you know? So, anyways, I'm rambling. So getting back into my heart space, something that I like to do if I'm feeling, you know, there's symptoms of being out of your heart space is when you're really logically thinking. It's like you're very linear in your thoughts. Sometimes you can have a little bit too much expectations around what you're thinking. Sometimes you're just getting from point A to point B. You're not really stopping to have like an intimate conversation or figure out the details of people. It's like you just want to go and, you know, do. That's it. That's when you're not really connected to your heart space or the situations that are going on around you, or opportunities. You know, some people miss opportunities because they're so in their bubble and streamlined, which is great for a lot of things. But when you're in recovery and you're trying to get back into your heart, have that conversation. Have that uncomfortable conversation. You know, if that person screws you over, if that person screws you over, they were a lesson. And if you truly have your own back at the end of the day, which is hard, I'm not saying it's easy, it's not easy, but if you have your own back at the end of the day, you can heal from that situation and you will be better for it, and you will learn and grow and do, you know. So getting back into my heart space is something really easy. Okay, I just put my hand on my heart and I wait until I can hear my own heartbeat. And I think about the things that I'm grateful for. I think about the things that are in my life that it would not be possible for me to have this business. It would not be possible for me to have clients with the car that I have. Or it wouldn't be possible for me to find joy and find my inner child if I didn't have my kids. I'm sure it would be possible, but you know what I mean. Like, my kids are everything, and they bring me back to how I was, you know? And they also give me a chance to heal my own mother wound and to heal my own ish that I felt when I had them, you know? So getting back into your heart space can be scary, but when you stop looking at the world like everyone's gonna throw a knife in your back, that's when you start living. That's when you stop making decisions that are solely comfort-based and you start to take risks and get outside of yourself. And that's when you get excited and really passionate about whatever you're doing, you know? And I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. Having a passion is going to be number one if you're trying to get back into your heart space, okay? I don't care if it's reading books. I don't care if it's getting information out there, if it's tarot reading, if it's fishing, if it's who knows, but do something that you're passionate about. Do something that you can put your heart into, you know? And slowly, you will regain the pieces of it back. And it won't be so hard. and you'll be able to overcome one of the most difficult things that you can overcome in recovery. Feeling yourself again, believing in yourself again, moving forward the way that you need to move forward. I got a guidance card that I wanted to say until the end of the video. Also, another tip for getting back into your heart is what I love to do. Like if I'm feeling really logical and like I'm not being very compassionate, which is something I've been doing a lot lately, I get stuck in that in that one trajectory, and I don't want to look at anything else. It's important for you to find time for yourself, to listen to music with your headphones and to feel the music, feel what it does to your heart. I'm gonna put a few songs in the description box so you guys can see what I mean, but put your headphones on and feel the nuances of the music. Feel the different curves and shapes of the music. See how it sets your heart on fire, okay? And obviously, get a song that's gonna like get your rocks off with your heart, you know? Like, and you know what I'm saying. Those songs that give you the full body chills, those songs that bring memories back into your heart and that make you feel again, you know? That's a really productive way. It's also a great way to figure out the nuances in your clairaudience, but I digress. That's a totally different topic for another day, and something I can definitely bring up if you guys want me to in the comments, or make a video for it in the comments. But yeah, basically, don't get too stuck. Don't get in your own way, okay? And when you're not in your heart space and you're solely making decisions based on logic, you're getting in your own way. And I'm saying that to myself too. I'm not just saying that to you. All right, so anyways, this is the card I got for the day, and I was just gonna state the message. Okay. Second chances are available to you now. Whatever opportunities you thought were dead are now revived in a more authentic, stronger form. Whatever you may have perceived as a failure or loss is now being replaced by something better and more powerful growing in its place. This rebirth is assured. Step into your new life. Destiny is being fulfilled in wondrous ways. See, this is a beautiful recap of, I pulled this before I even made the video, but this is a beautiful recap of what I'm talking about. It's like a lot of us in recovery are getting a second chance. And if you're watching this video, it's because you're trying to navigate early recovery, or you just like the sound of my voice and you're falling asleep. That's fine too. But it's okay that it's okay that you have to take these steps, and it's okay that you're dealing with this right now. I just want you to know that you're not alone, and that getting into your heart space is a very valuable tool of information that even when you're making those logical decisions, if you choose to get into your heart space more, you'll be able to figure out what your body is trying to tell you when you're making those decisions. You know, think about, like, do you feel does your stomach feel tight when you think about it? Do your shoulders kind of lift up? You know, what are you thinking about in those moments? You know, what do you need to get into your heart space about? Don't be scared. I promise it will be okay, and you won't explode or die. So anyways, that's my message for today. I will see you guys soon. Bye.